We're going to move on now, though, to the new developments in the Ebola story. The nurse who was quarantined under those tough new rules is harshly criticizing government officials, saying she was treated like a criminal. This as the latest patient, that doctor in New York City, is entering a difficult and critical period in his treatment. ABC's Lindsay Davis is at Bellevue Hospital, where that doctor is being treated this morning. Lindsay, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. Yeah, Dr. Spencer said to be entering the next phase of the illness, now experiencing gastrointestinal symptoms. Meanwhile, his fiancée left here last night to be quarantined at home. But a very different story playing out this morning in New Jersey. Casey Hickox under quarantine and speaking out. The first high-risk traveler to be automatically quarantined, saying she was treated like a criminal by New Jersey health officials. Writing in an open letter to the Dallas Morning News, the Doctors Without Borders volunteer recounts what she describes as a harrowing experience when she returned from treating Ebola patients in Sierra Leone. I sat alone in the isolation tent and thought of many colleagues who will return home to America and face the same ordeal. She said she was held for 6 hours, grilled by officials and given only a granola bar and water, detained even after her temperature was taken at a healthy 98 degrees.
This is a difficult situation to deal with, and my heart goes out to her because she's someone who's been trying to help others and is obviously ill.
But Hickox says she was not ill, just upset when officials made the call to rush her to University Hospital, writing, "My cheeks were flushed. I was upset at being held with no explanation. The scanner recorded my temperature as 101. The female officer looked smug. You have a fever now," she said. Several states now taking matters into their own hands. Late Saturday, Florida joined Illinois, New York, and New Jersey, all now imposing their own mandatory 21-day quarantine. Ashoka Mukpo, the freelance journalist who recovered from the virus, says that policy threatens those on the front lines of the fight against Ebola.
Anything that makes it more difficult for those people to go is not the right thing to do right now.
Hickox, now one of 4 people in the area quarantined by state order, despite being regarded as low risk by the CDC. Her attorney telling ABC News she's planning to take legal action against the state. And Morgan Dixon, seen here returning to be quarantined at the Harlem apartment she shares with fiancé Dr. Craig Spencer. Dixon and 2 other friends of the couple were held for 2 days at Bellevue Hospital, where Spencer is being treated for Ebola.
We are monitoring their health every day, and I can verify that, in fact, they are all healthy with no symptoms.
According to the World Health Organization, there are now more than 10,000 Ebola cases worldwide in 8 countries, including a 2-year-old who died last week in Mali. Paula.
All right, Lindsay Davis, thank you for that report this morning. And we do want to bring in ABC's Dr. Richard Besser, who's in Williamstown, Massachusetts. And good morning, Dr. Besser. First and foremost, these mandatory quarantines for medical workers that are returning from the Ebola hot zone, now in several states. Why don't you support these measures?
You know, when I hear this story of how she was treated, it's actually chilling. What's going to make it safer for us here in America is to get as many doctors, nurses, healthcare workers to go to West Africa to knock it out there. And anything like this, it creates a disincentive. You know, when someone is treated this poorly when they return, why would anyone go over there to help?
Deters from the really important work that needs to be done on the ground right now. So let's talk about the public fear that we're seeing right now over Ebola. You say elected officials are creating an unnecessary sense of panic with these quarantines?
I think they are. What people need to realize is that no one can spread this disease until they have symptoms, until they're losing body fluid. So having healthcare workers and others monitor themselves for fever, an early sign, is a way to keep us safe. What we're seeing is states piling on and doing more actions to reassure the public. But when the actions aren't based in fact, it actually helps promote the fear. We need our leaders to come back to us with those facts. And that will help the public understand that really people are safe.
Dr. Besser, thank you for your steady guidance this morning.
Dr. Besser weighing in once again. Thank you, Rich.